All right, this assignment is dealing with the customary system of measurement. So I gave you this conversion chart to kind of help you with different ones. You can refer back to it when you're doing your actual assignment. You can just pause the video and look at it. So I'm going to do a few examples with you to hopefully help you with your Master Connect assignment. Okay, one thing you need to look with each of these problems is what are you converting? So this one says Valerie and her friend Craig want to know whose brother is taller. Valerie's brother is 76 inches tall, and Craig's brother is 6 feet 3 inches tall. So obviously when we look at this, we see we have one measurement totally in inches and the other one in feet and inches. So that tells us that in order to compare these, that we're going to have to convert Craig's brother into just inches. So I'm going to put right here that Valerie's brother is 76 inches. And then we're going to figure out Craig's brother because he is 6 feet and 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is make sure I know you can look back at your conversion chart if you need to, but there are 12 inches in a foot. So that tells me that I can say 6 times 12 to figure out how many feet I have. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. 12 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry that 1. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So we have 72 inches, but we also have to add that 3 that he already was, but that only makes him 75 inches tall compared to the 76. So we know that Valerie's brother is taller by 1 inch. So that means that our answer is the second choice. All right, a couple of things about this question. It says Peyton's making 2 flags of the same size. She cuts a piece of cloth into 2 equal pieces. The length of one flag is 48 inches. They want to know the total length in feet of 2 flags. So the first thing we're going to have to do is convert those inches into feet and consider that we have 2 of these flags. All right, so again, just like the last one, we know that there are 12 inches in a foot, but this time we're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, so we know we're going to be dividing. So the first thing we need to do is 48 divided by 12. We can see 12 can go into 48 4 times. It's going to give me exactly 48, which gives me 0 left over. So this is one flag. One flag is 4 foot, okay? What they're asking us, remember, is how many 2 flags would be. So that means we have to say 4 plus 4, or 4 times 2, and that would give me 8 feet as my final answer, which means it's my second choice again. All right, on this one, we're dealing with capacity this time instead of length. So it says a small pitcher holds 8 cups of tea. If each glass holds 16 ounces of tea, how many glasses can be filled from the pitcher? So we know anytime they're asking us for like how many individual containers of things can be filled, we know we're going to be having to do some sort of division. But we have to also think about our conversion. So on what in the pitcher we're given it to in cups, and the glasses we're given to in ounces. So we're going to convert it to the smaller unit, which is ounces. And in this case, it doesn't say it, but since we're talking about a drink, obviously this is fluid ounces. All right, and we should know that there are 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. So what we're going to do first is figure out how many ounces do I actually have in this pitcher. So the first thing I need to do is say 8 times 8, and that's going to give me 64 fluid ounces, okay? So that's how much I have in 1 pitcher. So to figure out how many glasses I can fill, I'm going to have to take that total of 64, and I'm going to have to divide it by the 16 ounces that each glass holds and figure out how many. Now, if I know I'm dividing, first of all, we definitely know 64 is out. We also know that the 128 is out because if we're dividing, we can't get a bigger number. So we know we're going between 4 and 2. If I'm looking at 16 and 4, I would think definitely 16 times 2 would give me 32, so that wouldn't be enough. So it is the 4 because 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6, and we have a remainder of 0. So it is the 4 glasses. Okay, on this one, we're dealing with capacity again. They're saying Sharon used 2 gallons of ice cream to make ice cream sundaes for her softball team. Each sundae needed a pint. So how many ice cream sundaes can she make? So we know we're going to be doing some sort of division. But the first thing we need to know is that we have gallons and pints. So we've got to figure out how many pints can be in those 2 gallons. So we have to go all the way from gallons to pints. So we have to think about what do we know about this conversion, or what do we know about these measurements. So we know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. Okay? We also know that 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. All right? So we can say 4 times 2 and know that 1 gallon is equal to 8 pints. We can use this now to figure out if 1 gallon is 8 pints and we have 2 gallons, then we know that we can say 8 times 2, and that would give us 16 pints. That's our final answer, which means, and since each sundae is a pint, that means the same thing. 16 pints equals 16 ice cream sundaes. All right, on this question, we're dealing with weight because we have ounces and they're talking about pounds. So let's see what we need to do. It says the sub shop bakes 128 loaves of bread each week. Each loaf requires 8 ounces of flour. How many pounds of flour does the sub shop need to bake 128 loaves of bread? So first thing we need to figure out is with the 128 loaves, and we know they require 8 ounces of flour for each one, we're going to multiply that for our first step. Not our last step, but just our first step. So 8 times 8 will give me 64. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 6 is 22. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So it's 1,024, but it's ounces. Remember, we were multiplying 128 loaves times 8 ounces. We have not converted this to pounds yet. So that would tell me that this is out. What also it tells me is because I know there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Okay, I'm going to use that here. So say 16 ounces equals 1 pound. All right. If I know that I want to go from a smaller unit to a larger unit like this, I have to divide in order to figure out how many pounds I have. So if I know I'm dividing 1,024 by 16, I know it is not going to get larger. So I know those are out. So I know I'm going to be deciding between either 64 or 85. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up the problem. All right, now I'm going to kind of use my answer choices and think a little bit. How many times could 16 go into 1,024? So obviously it can't go into 10, so we're looking into 102. So let's look and think and see. I'm going to try 6. So if I do 6, 6 times 6 is 36, and 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Now, it's not exactly, obviously, but it's very close, and it's as close as we could get because if I'd used 8, it would have been too much. So I'm going to finish out this problem, but we're pretty sure that our answer is 64 pounds. So we're going to mark that out. That's going to be 9. Carry that. 12 minus 6 is 6. Bring down the 4. And we know, remember, we're say it's 64. So we're going to put 4 here. 4 times 6. And I'm going to mark out what I've already carried. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is the 64 that we want. We have a 0 remainder, and there's our answer right there at the top. So it is 64 pounds. All right, last example. This one is dealing with length again. It's just giving you a measurement. The first, it says Yao Ming is 7 feet, 6 inches tall. They want to know how many inches. So always be aware if you're converting from a larger to a smaller unit or a smaller to a larger unit. If you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you're going to be multiplying every time. If you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to be dividing. So in this case, we're doing 7 feet, 6 inches. So we have those feet, and we're converting to just inches. So we're going large to small, excuse me, which tells me I'm multiplying. So I'm going to start with, we know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. All right, so we're going to take our 7 feet, and we're going to multiply it times 12, okay? 7 times 12 gave me 84, and then I have to make sure that I add my 6 inches that I already had, and that will give me a total of 90 inches, and that's your final answer. All right, guys, that's it for these examples. I'm going to post the video. The assignments are already on my Google Doc, and along with other videos that go with Customary System. This is one of your last assignments. This one will be customary. The next one will be metric. And I've already posted the assignment, and I will post the explain everything video with the examples and sometime today. So those will be your last assignment. So please just make sure that you are working on all of your assignments. If you need me to reset anything or you need a different code. If you get on there, I think I've reset everything, but if you find one that doesn't work, please let me know and I'll be glad to reset it for you, because Friday is our last day for virtual learning. So everything has to be done by Friday if you want credit for it. All right, thanks so much, and I'll see you later on Google Meet at 12. Bye, love you.